Welcome, one and all, to WDW After Dark, your weekly webcast and podcast for Disney fans. And we're going to be talking about the D23 Expo that took place this past week. A lot of news to cover, so we're going to cover the parks and resorts first. And I am Aljon Go, Disney park fan, Disney film fan, Marvel, Star Wars. We love it all. I definitely love it all. And I'm going to be joined by my lovely and illustrious co-host, Miss Dining at Disney.com herself, foodie and travel guru, Kristen. Hello.
Hello.
Also joining us from around the United States, from the other side of the United States, I should say. Also a Disney foodie and a pop culturist and all around great guy, Big Bubba B. What's going on?
What are you guys doing? I miss you guys. Just still trying to recuperate from this wild weekend. That was D23. It was amazing. Got a lot to talk about.
You look good in high definition, man. I like it.
Oh, cool, man. I thought you'd get all the bumps on my face, just that I don't want to see, but oh well.
We are streaming live via Google Hangouts here, and you can find our plethora of programs, archive shows, podcasts, and so much more there at WDWAfterdark.com. Quick reminder for you, as a supporter of our free content that we provide for you every week, to please subscribe to our show on YouTube as well as iTunes and Stitcher. Leave us those thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and give us those 5-star reviews on iTunes. Every little bit helps out because we provide this show for you for free every single week. You can even support us using our links there at www.afterdark.com, including Amazon. You can go there, click on that Amazon banner, buy stuff you would normally every day. But if you visit our link, our website first, and click our link, Amazon gives us a little kickback so that we can continue to provide you awesome shows and keep on upgrading our equipment and keep on giving you that great coverage that you know that you love every single week. And now let's get on with Disney headline news. D23 Expo 2017 is in the can. Another one down, and we have several more, whole slew of D23 events coming up in the future. But Big Bubba B was our Sorcerer Radio correspondent. It's our sister station, Sorcerer Radio. He was hanging out there on behalf of Dining at Disney, and himself and his wife was hanging out. So, Bubba, what are your overall thoughts on the D23 Expo?
A very hectic weekend. Definitely not as mellow as the past expos. So it's getting very popular each and every time, to where it's almost a Comic-Con type standard. People waiting in line overnight for days on end, but long lines in the expo line. But overall, it still was a great experience for me. I saw so much stuff, saw so many trailers and teasers. It was just nuts. I saw so many stars too. It was very, very entertaining, but also, like I said, hectic in a way to where we can talk about if, just stuff like that. But it was great. I loved it.
Now, Kristen and I and yourself have been to many D23 expos ever since they started, which was, it really was a celebration of all things Disney there at the Anaheim Convention Center. And yes, we've seen the rise in popularity of these type of conventions. And I would say overall that the rest of the United States and the rest of the world, to be quite honest, is really embracing their fandom, really embracing pop culture in a way that never has been celebrated before, to the point where everybody comes out to these type of conventions. And there is really no shame about celebrating your fandom. Sports fans, like, Bubba, I know you're a huge football fan. I know you're a big sports guy. Kristen, you're a huge hockey person, hockey fan. Me, I like professional wrestling, so it's kind of like everybody has their type of fandom, or music or whatever it is. We all like music. We all go to concerts and different things like that. So it's not a big deal for people to show their love and appreciation for sports teams or for their favorite rock band. But when it comes down to people that like Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or Marvel Comics or Disney, or even Star Wars, of course, the king of all franchises, there really isn't any shame in showing that nerd love. Is that right, Kristen?
Oh, I agree. I really agree with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So first and foremost, before we go into it, they did change up some things at the D23 Expo this year. They had a lot more interactive things. I like this the thing that they did before we go into the parks and resorts, which everybody's talking about. Bub, did you check out the 3 o'clock parade?
Yes, I did happen to check it out. It was nice, something new that was at the expo, and it was nice too. It gave a break from people doing all the hectic stuff, waiting in lines, going shopping, doing this, doing that. And, families loved it to death. I actually caught the parade with Steve Saunders, who was actually, I was talking to him live on his podcast while the parade just started to happen to go on. And Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time was the Grand Marshal of the parade, which was nice too. Friday, Mark Hamill and Stan Lee were the of the parade. I missed that just because we were waiting in line for so much stuff. But it was a nice touch to it. I liked it.
Yeah, check this out. So I'm showing this to everyone now. If you're listening to the webcast, you're not going to be able to see all of this, but you can see here Grand Marshals of the parade. You have the cast of Disney's Descendants on Disney Channel, and they literally are doing a parade that you would find in a theme park in a little, buggy with little dancers and procession going on. Look at the cast of Disney's Descendants. So they look like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I
That
know,
would be cool to see.
Yeah, they had giant balloons and everything.
Now I know when Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore were Grand Marshals during one of these parades, they actually started streaming live and recording from their phones, and they just could not put it down. They were waving to everybody, and it's a really great thing that they did to kind of make it different than what we've seen in the past. Look at the cast. They're just having so much fun there. Dove Cameron, of course, there. Look at that. And a nice little Chinese dress she's wearing. Look at that. Is that cultural appropriation or not? I'm just saying. That's just a joke, by the way. I'm not really, well, I am joking about that. I love Dove Cameron. Not in that way. But look here, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill now riding around, and Mark is a huge ham anyway. He just loves he loves the audience. Loves the audience. And there's Stan the Man Lee. Oh, and Stan just a few days earlier had his wife Joan had passed away. And it was great to see him.
Unbelievable that he was there. Unbelievable that he was there. I was so shocked that he was there.
Isn't it great though? I mean, nothing was going to stop him from being inducted as a Disney legend. And I say it's about dang time.
Yes.
Because me, I've been beating the drum of Stan Lee becoming a Disney legend ever since Disney bought Marvel several years ago.
I mean, can you imagine being married to somebody 69 years?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's Looney Tunes, Bub, right?
That's a long time to be married.
It's a long time to
What's
be married.
Great? What's
I'm
great
sure that's
about
why he
Stan
didn't
Lee
mention her either, during the
legend speech.
Yeah, because I'm sure he probably would have lost it.
Well, I have to say that.
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
Go ahead, Bub.
He dipped his hands in cement for the Chinese theater in Hollywood. Just I think it was yesterday. So now he has his hands dipped, and you can go check that out in Hollywood.
It's about time. I'll have footage on that at JediMasketeer.com, but it really is. It's a gentleman whose time has come. He is a legend. Him and so many others, but of course, we like to celebrate Marvel here on the show, and I just think it's about time, for it to be done. And the words for Jack Kirby's son had for Joan Lee and Stan, and to see Jack Kirby posthumously honored, as well as Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, of course. It was great, but Stan really brought it home, saying that he was a fan of Walt's, and he saved up all his money to buy a coffee table book because he wanted to be like Walt. And it was just awesome because he's a fan.
During his speech, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, he started crying, I think, as well. And
Yeah,
you can
because
feel it meant a lot.
the montage they did for his friend. Yeah, what they did for his friend. I mean, they played great montages for each and every honoree, and that one was very touching, and it got to
Well,
him. Yeah, right off the bat.
well, think about it. In the montage, even his wife was featured in there talking about him.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
yes.
she was the impetus for really saying, um, Stan, why don't you build and create a book, a comic book that you want to enjoy? Because if you're going to go ahead and quit this business, you might as well quit while you're doing something you enjoy, right?
Yeah,
If it's
exactly.
going to be unsuccessful, and then of course he makes the most successful, basically kickstarting the silver age of comics with the Marvel world, with the Fantastic Four. So just amazing things. But I'd be remiss as a Marvel fan, and you too, Bub and Kristen, all of us are Marvel fans, and we just love to show our respect to Stan Lee, the Generalissimo. And I have to say that meeting Stan was probably one of the biggest thrills in my life, just to meet Stan before he's no longer with us. And it was just awesome to meet him. Now, I know he was kind of walking around the convention center. Did you get a chance to even meet the man or see? Obviously, you saw him in the parade.
He did the parade, but no, he was just there that Friday, and you probably couldn't get near him. I just saw him at the Legends panel. I didn't do the parade, but I don't know really anybody. I didn't hear any stories that he went out on the floor and took pictures with people, stuff like that. So he was he was just there that Friday, and that's all he needed to do, just be there. And I'm very happy that I got to see him there.
Right on. Yeah, he's great. He doesn't do a whole lot of conventions anymore, so it's definitely something to check out if you are able to meet Stan Lee, especially at his Stan Lee Kamikaze convention there in California. You should do it. Now, moving on to the amazing announcements from the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts panel. And Bub, you were there in person. Kristen and I have made this trip to D23 before. And every time we do the Parks and Resorts panel, it is absolutely packed. How about this year? I mean, I see that they expanded the seating for for this panel.
Yeah, they did. 8,000 seats were in Hall D23. There was roughly about 7,000 last D23. So yeah, they expanded it big time. But I got in kind of late. I came in maybe, yeah. Well, it was, like I said, it was a hectic weekend. After the live action panel, I wasn't, and there was teaser for the parks panel. Last D23 they did a teaser for the park panel by announcing Star Wars Land, and of course everybody flocked to the parks and resort panel because they wanted to hear about it. There was nothing like that, so I was very skeptical about going, and trust me, I was on 5 hours of sleep on Saturday, going Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I was just debating, should I go? During the maybe 10 minutes after it started, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to head over there and get in. And they let me in. So there was still seats in the backs, but it was still a packed house for that panel. Yes. Right. A lot of streaming going on too.
Yes. And please follow Bubba on your social media, because it's big_Bubba_B on that. And also on Facebook. But my God, man. The Walt Disney World Resort will be 50, by the way, in 2021, only a few years away. It's just right around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. And we all know, if you're listening to this program, you in some form or fashion are a big fan of the parks. And Star Wars Land has now got a name. Kristen, what do you think about the name? What is the name, and what do you think about it? Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. That's right. I was trying to think of what it was. I was like,
I know. I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah. I was not impressed with it. See, I was so not impressed with it that I was having difficulty recalling it.
Okay.
Exactly. It's not something that pops out.
No. And when I hear the word galaxy, I don't know.
Well, I actually have now, while our viewers are able to see what is going on, I actually have uploaded footage there at my Jedi Mouseketeer YouTube channel. And Holy smokes. If here it is right here, you can see it for yourself. The 3D model of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge park area. And as they take you through this model, of course, there's not a whole lot of people in it. I think there was a meme going around about Star Wars. Here's the model. In reality, it's like packed asses to elbows in that theme park.
That was great. That was great.
But look at it now.
What's up with the like fake background there?
Yeah, right. They did that to Avatar too. It just makes it look so much bigger than it actually is. Does it not?
And then when people see it, you're gonna go and go, "This is it." You know, it gives you. I don't like that. Don't put that there. Just show the model the way it's gonna look to us. Don't add the extra like fluff in there to make it look bigger than what it's gonna be.
What do you think, Bubba? You were there. You saw the model.
I saw the model. The model did look amazing. They put so much detail into it. They showed this was actually the Disneyland model because there's 3 entrances. As to where Disney World, you're getting 2 entrances. So one of the entrances was a nice walkway on to the left side of it. The middle and the right entrances look like a hole blasted into the wall, like stormtroopers were trying to blast their way through this Galaxy's Edge. And as the announcers were talking during it, they said, as you can see, there's a TIE fighter at the end, and trouble's gonna start brewing with the First Order, and that kind of gave us a good hint. Another thing with the Millennium Falcon is they announced the attraction, and you kind of get to choose what's going to happen to you at the end of the attraction. That's what they hinted at. So you can either be wanted by the stormtroopers, or you can be embraced by the stormtroopers, something. So that was kind of a good hint as to what they have planned for that attraction.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. You see, I'm going through the D23 website right now, and you can see the Millennium Falcon there. You can check out some of the cast member costumes, right? First Order costumes. Some props and different things of the creatures like the hammerhead alien that you're going to be able to see there in the park. But my question is, you've got D23 or Disney Parks made a big hullabaloo about AT-ATs being built. Where are the AT-ATs, Bub? Are they inside a building?
I asked, and they didn't. They said they are somewhere inside one of these buildings, and they would not be specific. They were still hush hush on a lot of things. I've tried grilling them with questions, and just got the run around. And they said we'll be announcing, stuff like that shortly, or we're just leaving that for a closer date towards the park opening. And which is funny, they said the park shall be open in 2019, and every time she said that, I would ask, what day everybody would
right. And they're also promising they're also promising doing the Star Wars park also at Disney's Hollywood Studios for 2019 as well, but there is no set date for that. So I'm hoping May the 4th is going to be an awesome time for you guys.
We hope so too.
But you never know. I mean, Disneyland stuff tends to move a little quicker than Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World literally, I think, has molasses on the bottom of their work boots. To be quite honest, man.
Yeah, well, that's
Kristen's fond of saying how Walt Disney World takes forever to build anything. So,
and I really think part of it is the fact that they're like, well, they see the two parks very differently. The company does. They see Disneyland as the locals park, so there needs to be more changes and more new stuff and that kind of stuff. Things need to be done quicker. Whereas I think Walt Disney World, they see that as the park that is a tourist destination, so they can take 5 years to build something rather than 2. I will be shocked if in 2019 Star Wars actually opens in Disney World. I mean, look at the number, 7 years for them to do Pandora.
Right.
And then they're closing. It's good. They're closing, some of the attractions at Walt Disney World to make room for new ones. And it's going to take 4 years before we're going to see those attractions. It's an attraction, not a land. So that's why I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it that Star Wars is done in time at Disney World.
Oh, Kristen, the doubting Tina.
Look, Disney does this. They say well, we're gonna do this, and then it gets later at Disney World. It's already happened with Pandora. Look, the way you judge things is based on past experience, and with past experience with Disney, they do not complete their things for Disney World in a timely manner. Until Disney starts getting things done based on its time schedule, I'm going by its past behavior.
There you go. There you go. Kristen is the Dr. Phyllis of this episode. She really is. She's like, well, how's that working for you? And it's so funny. But it is true to an extent. I mean, Bub, on the show in the past, we talked about Pandora and how we were sold this at the D23 Expo, and this is what we got. Something a little bit falls a little bit short of our own expectations. However, everybody else seems to like it because we went to the D23 Expo. We were expecting more from Joe Rohde and the Imagineers at Pandora. I can only hope that in this particular case, as immersion is key, and this is supposed to be the Harry Potter, Cars Land is very immersive, and we love Cars Land, and we'll talk about Cars Land in a little bit, but when it comes down to this, this is a whole other level of immersion. Apparently there's supposed to be real working lightsabers. I'm not sure how that effect is going to work. Jedis and bounty hunters chasing each other on rooftops, just like they did when the Cowboys and were going around Big Thunder back in the day at Disneyland, Big Thunder Ranch. They're going to be doing the same type of the same type of thing here. You're going to be walking around and you're going to see this story unfold and then participate in the story with these attractions. So let's talk a little bit about these attractions coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Oh gosh, it's so weird me saying that. But once again, we'll talk about the Millennium Falcon experience. And it says here, guests will find themselves in the middle of the action, whether they're piloting the Millennium Falcon or aboard a Star Destroyer. That's new, inside a hangar bay. The scale of this attraction is unlike anything we've ever done before, said Bob Chapek of Disney Parks and Resorts. With the new lands, we're going to be raising the bar on everything that has come before. Scott Trowbridge, an Imagineer for Disney, told fans, quote, "This is a living place where your choices matter. Guests might see some galactic credits come their way if they fly the Millennium Falcon right, or they could be in trouble with the local bounty hunter," right? And then, of course, there's going to be all kinds of great concoctions there at the Star Wars Cantina, where we're going to find a familiar face by the name of Rex. And maybe you know Rex from the original version 1 of Star Tours, but it looks like they're going to bring back, hopefully Paul Rubens will come back to voice Rex, the DJ, who's going to be doing his version of Sunny Eclipse there in the DJ lounge there for the Cantina. Kristen, you're a big fan of the Starlight Lounge, right?
Yes.
So, and you're a big fan of Rex too, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what could go wrong?
I always still look and see, because he still makes some little sounds and stuff in the Star Tours attraction.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like to me they're going to have those two attractions there as anchors for that land. Bub, is there any other info that you could tell us about, whether it's the Millennium Falcon attraction or the First Order attraction? What other things maybe were you able to pick up?
They kept everything on the other attractions kind of hush hush. The Millennium Falcon attraction was talked about a lot at the panel, and when you go to visit the 3D model, and it's just like everything you said. What they said at the model was your choices are going to choose how the outcome of this attraction is going to end, and what's going to happen to you. Which, yeah, this is great. This is going to be fully immersive. What's funny too is they use that word so many times. I try to count how many times they use it at the parks panel, and I lost count after like 7. It's a drinking game.
You need to have a drinking game for all the times they say fully immersive. It's like
really immersive.
Yeah, it's thoroughly immersive, fully immersive, completely immersive. I mean, how immersive are we going to be? You going to put me in carbonite and immerse me in it and freeze me? Popsicle? Maybe that's what you're going to do.
So they kept hinting that more information will come out in the later months, especially in 2018. We're going to be getting a lot of info, especially at over in, I believe, Japan, 2018.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun to me. I'm all about that. So
yes.
Definitely something to look forward to. How about this announcement? Because Disneyland still has a remnant of Toontown being there with Mickey Mouse. Of course, at Walt Disney World, it's a different story. I mean, you have meet and greets with Mickey at the different parks and things. But for the first time ever, Kristen and Bub, we're going to have a Mickey and Minnie attraction called Runaway Railway. And that's going to be based on the Mickey Mouse cartoon shorts that are available on an app as well as the Disney Channel. And it's going to be a new attraction based out of the old the old theater. And so we're going to be saying goodbye. We're going to be saying goodbye to the Great Movie Ride as a result of this attraction. People are kind of up in arms about this, and I have to ask those people, how many times have you ridden the Great Movie Ride? Have you ridden it recently? Have you ridden it once or twice, and then you're just up in arms because it's your comfort attraction, much like the Hall of Presidents per se, or maybe even the Carousel of Progress? When was the last time you were actually there? So I think a lot of the criticism has to do with the fact that they're basing this Mickey attraction with new technology. They call it 2.5D technology or something.
Yeah, that's what they're called. No glasses required. So
no glasses required. Okay, so I can take my glasses off and it'll be okay.
maybe not your glasses, but yeah, no 3D glasses. Yeah,
your mileage may vary. But so Bub, why don't you tell us a little bit about this? Now you saw this particular presentation, right?
I walked in right when they were talking about this. Okay. And they said if you want to be in a cartoon short, this is going to be how they're going to do it. And it's they showed a clip of a couple clips, and it looked with the newer animation of Mickey, how they're drawing him now. That's how it's going to be. It's not going to be the old black and white cartoons, from what I understand. But I was walking in right during the middle while they were playing this, so I had to read up on this afterwards. So it looks very exciting, though. I don't know how the Great Movie Ride is to you guys, but I mean, transitioning Tower of Terror into Guardians of the Galaxy, I think this is going to be the same way, and it's going to turn a lot of people's heads the other way, going, okay, I see. I think I could dig this.
Yeah, take a look at this particular clip of footage, and you can see, if I can scroll down, this is the kind of Ren and Stimpy animation style.
Yes.
That's kind of what I call it. It's kind of Ren and Stimpy like. Although I'm okay with the animation style, not everybody is, because they grew up with the Disney, the regular Disney cartoons, where it's a different style altogether, which is kind of what they base their face character or their costume characters in the parks. They definitely don't, their costume characters don't look like this.
Yes.
So just Kristen, what are your thoughts on this new attraction? Never before have they had an attraction based on the legendary Mickey Mouse in this particular fashion.
Well, I'm looking forward to there being a Mickey Mouse attraction. I'm not crazy about that style of animation, but it sounds like it's going to be something cool. I have been saying for years that every time I ride the Great Movie Ride, which is probably like twice a year we ride the Great Movie Ride. And I get on it and I say, I don't want to ride this again until they change it.
Could never.
Because there's the scenes are, I mean, still the same stuff. I've been wanting them for years to take out some of those movies and replace them with something more current and just change it up, and they haven't. So I'm fine with it going away. I know a lot of people are going to be sad because it's been there for so long, and it's, the first image you see when you walk into the park, you see it all the way down at the end. It's that park's version of the castle.
Right.
So I get why people are upset about it going away, but I think it's going to be a really good thing. I think even with it being kind of feeling about the style of animation, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right. It says right here, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. Is it Runaway Train? Right?
Runaway Railway.
Will allow guests to step through the movie screen and find themselves in a Mickey Mouse cartoon short and an exciting new attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The attraction will have an all-new story and catchy, lovable song. Imagineer Kevin Rafferty detailed, explaining that the Walt Disney Imagineers are partnering with a team at Disney Television Animation to recreate the attraction, which he said will be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Rafferty said the Imagineers are calling the new experience 2.5D. No glasses required to turn the flat world of the Mickey cartoon shorts into a dimensional display of amazingness. Plus, he said one exciting secret we're going to take as a challenge: Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to have more hidden Mickeys than any other attraction in the universe.
So cool, right there. That's really cool.
That,
that'll make you ride it over. That'll make you ride it over and over. When he announced that, everybody was very excited that it was going to have all those hidden Mickeys.
Right. They're counting on the fans doing that. It's funny though, when they made the announcement, they didn't say that they'd be closing any of these attractions. These are new attractions coming, but they never talk about what they're replacing or what they're having to close as a result. Right.
Yeah.
It's always the positive.
They did not.
Well, speaking of closing, Ellen's other energy adventure is only a few weeks away from closing, along with a great movie ride coming up, I guess, within the next 4 weeks. So you better go see it while you can. But Walt Disney World Resort is turning 50 in 2021, just a few days away. And with that will be coming some pretty massive attractions. So, Bubba, tell us about this Guardians of the Galaxy thing that they have coming up. You know anything about it?
So lucky. I'm.
How can you say that? You have Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in your side.
I know we do, but
we don't have
everything that you guys. You're gonna have Peter Quill. They showed a picture of Peter Quill as a young boy at Epcot with the Epcot, whatever, I forgot what it's called, in the background, which was. That was with Spaceship Earth. That was a real cool teaser. Everybody was up in arms about that. So, I don't know actually what they're going to be doing Guardians wise. I just know there's highly immersive when it comes to, Guardians walking around. I know they showed a picture of the Milano in one of the scenes, with Groot. Not the Milano, I'm sorry. One of the but it was one of their Starcrafts next to Groot, which looked pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know where that's outside of, but that's gonna be great. And then I think there was another one with the Milano, one of the attractions, I believe, but I'm not sure. I didn't really read up because you guys were getting so much stuff. I was just like, you know what, just. But you guys, that looks great.
I'm showing on the screen right now. There you have.
Oh, you are.
Peter Quill as a child visiting Epcot as a child before he was abducted by Yondu.
Clever, very clever.
Mary Poppins, y'all. So there it is. By the way, Guardians of the Galaxy is a brilliant movie. Volume 2, you need to go out there and see it. But so you have that, and here is another artist rendering of what is basically the exterior of Ellen's Energy Adventure. You can see I Am Groot, Groot and
Yeah,
Rocket.
there it is.
What? You're
Right.
going to see a little
That's it
rocket?
right there. There's
Are you
there's a
kidding
little
me?
rocket right there.
Now there are
Wonder how
some
that's
hidden.
gonna be.
Well, there are some hidden gems in this. Now notice that if you look here to the left, you'll see that there's someone from the Nova Corps standing here.
Yes.
You'll also notice, of course, there's Rocket. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but there's the Milano spaceship there, and then there's Groot.
Oh, I miss baby Groot already.
Right. So I'm going to widen this picture, so that everyone can see. But I'm curious, do you see anything else that may be kind of strange or anything in this particular photo that catches your attention? You see anything?
Okay.
Take a
I
look.
don't know. That girl's bag doesn't match her dress. I know that.
Right.
What's with the
Just kidding.
this ghostly looking lady right in the middle of the photo?
You know, at first I thought
She's really funny looking.
I thought she
almost looks like.
Go ahead.
Looks like what's her name? Like
Scarlett
It is
Johansson.
weird. She's like Scarlett. Exactly. Black Widow.
Kind of looks like Black Widow, but not. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that, but at any rate, that is just something to kind of
Is that what you were hinting at?
Yeah, she kind of looks like Black Widow. Kind of, but you know,
looks weird. She's like, everybody else is like actually a full color, and she kind of looks ghostly.
Yeah, just it's very strange.
She doesn't fit in there. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know what that is either. So very, very strange with the Guardians. But at any rate, that alone, that is very interesting to see that particular attraction coming to Epcot. And here's another picture of the interior from D23. Let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. So this is the attraction interior.
Yes, that's
and
a great shot.
It looks like, you know, there's a lot of people that suspected that this would be a roller coaster of some sort. I don't know if it's going to be.
This could be the waiting queue area, but yeah, I don't know what that's going to be.
I wish they would do a coaster ride for that. That part coaster ride.
Definitely.
So riding around in the Milano? Oh, yes.
Look how cool that would be. You know, it's so cool. So once again, Bob Chapek says teams are thinking big when it comes to Epcot as they continue to realize the original vision of the park while making it more timeless and relevant than ever before. And Tom Fitzgerald, legendary Imagineer, worked on the original plans for Epcot, I believe is going to be helming some of this project. And he says that Epcot will always be a place where the real becomes fantastical and the fantastical becomes real. So having fantastical experiences is something, Kristen, you're going to be experiencing because one of your favorite attractions is going to be coming to Epcot as well with Ratatouille. Yay! So Epcot is going to once again be getting a movie tie-in. You know, over there at Epcot, right now we have Frozen Ever After, and now we're going to have Ratatouille. The popular attraction is the #1 attraction there at Disneyland Paris. And Bub, is there going to be any changes to this attraction?
What I understand, they said at the panel it will be similar to the one in Paris. So I don't know what they're going to change up as of right now. So we'll see. They said it was going to be very similar, nothing really different.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see for sure how this works out. But you know, the Ratatouille attraction is a trackless attraction, and it looks pretty cool. I'm going to show you just a little bit of some clips here coming from SoCal Attractions 360. You can see here how cool it looks. You know, you ride around in these little Ratatouille Remy and Emile mobiles, I guess you could say. Oh, wow. And you run around Paris and you see the apparition of Gusteau. Everyone can cook. And everyone kind of rolls around, and I know Kristen's gonna love this because she just loves Ratatouille so much. And
I do it's my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, look at that.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it just looks super cool. And Bubba, I know obviously you and Kristen both host Dining at Disney, and it's cool to see those this attraction is coming to the park. My understanding is that they're really aiming for tie-in films to have, or tie-in pavilions at Epcot at some point are going to all have these type of attractions coming to the park. Is that something that you've heard as well?
Well, I'm seeing it a lot more now. Especially with all the announcement that happened over the weekend, which it's popular in my opinion. It's a great tie-in. It's something that I would love to have that over here, and it is, like you said.
Yeah, right. So that is going to be happening there for the 50th. It's going to be open in time there. And
I'm wondering if that means once Coco comes out, if Three Caballeros.
That's the rumor.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for when we talk about animation at another time. Yeah, I don't know if that can be.
You can talk about it now. You can talk about it now if you want. We're talking about things.
Attraction
tie-in.
Well, yeah, it can possibly tie in. The movie, they finally laid out what the movie was about, which is about this boy who wants to sing at the Day of the Dead festival, but his family doesn't want him to. They don't like singing. They ban it from the family. So he goes to his great uncle's tomb, who is a famous guitarist, and he strums his guitar, and he ends up in the and that's how he ends up there. So, depending on what characters are going to be coming out of this movie, they could possibly tie into that. Take away Three Caballeros and add Coco.
Yep, that's what
I never thought about that till now.
That's what I had heard, is that depending on the success of the movie Coco, they will be doing an overlay for the Three Caballeros. So we shall see. Of course, Coco comes out this fall from Disney.
They did push it. They pushed it really hard at the animation panel. It was the final. That was the final announcement. They brought a mariachi band out. Benjamin Bratt came and sang one of his songs that he's going to be singing in the movie. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We have a couple more stories to wrap up this announcements from the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. So Epcot 2 will also be getting a new restaurant now. Kristen, you're going to have a lot to talk about because Mission Space is going to have a new restaurant. Bub, Kristen, do you want to kind of spill the beans on what type of restaurant this is going to be while I pull up a picture?
Bub gets
I'll tell you what, when they announced this and they talked about it, everybody was oohing and awing over how awesome this place is going to be. So yeah, go ahead, Kristen.
No, you talk all about it because you were there. I want you to talk about it.
Oh, there it is.
And so line up right here because I got a lot of stuff pulled up. I haven't seen what is across from Mission Space. Apparently, this is going to be across from the attraction, from what I understand, and so highly immersive. Once again, as they put it out. There you are. So Green Mission at experience a new green mission at Mission Space.
Yes.
You will be able to soar over Earth and be able to dine in outer space. How awesome is that? You're not going to see trees and people walking outside. You are going to see our planet outside of the windows. You're going to see stars. You're going to see satellites fly over past you. Maybe a UFO, who knows, an astronaut flying by you. This is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see how this turns out.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I mean, yes, we're going to have a new mission for Mission Space. And it was done with the help of Lucasfilm. So the video is going to be fresh, right?
Yes.
It's going to be super cool. Yeah, if anybody knows how to do space, it's Lucasfilm, folks. Come on, man. They're responsible for the biggest franchise of all, Star Wars, and also doing the special effects for Star Trek. So I think they know how to do space. I'm just saying. But this restaurant, Kristen, my gosh, doesn't it look cool? I mean, those windows. You're gonna
I
be
wonder
looking.
if that is going to be where Wonders of Life is.
Right.
It would make sense.
Could be.
Is that across from Mission Space? I know they said it was going to be across from it.
That's the only
from
place.
what I remember.
Either that or they're getting rid of Mouse Gear.
No, they can't get rid of Mouse
That's actually
Gear.
what's right across from there.
Or
that's what I believe.
Interventions get rid of. I don't know.
Interventions. It could be going into interventions. To be honest.
If I remember the announcement correctly, they did say across from Mission Space.
Interesting. We shall be following this to be sure.
Yes.
The new green mission is going to be good. I'm sure they're going to be tweaking the mission, the regular mission as well, because the effects in it are definitely PlayStation 2 quality. So if at best, they need to up their game because next generation consoles can get more polygons in there nowadays. And it wouldn't be that bad of a thing to get Gary Sinise to do a new pre-show either, because, let's face it, ISTC is looking kind of dated at this time. But anyway, Mission Space, definitely going to be cool. Last but not least, folks, we have, not last but not least, we have a few things to talk about, a few more things. Gosh, how time flies. Hey, Tron is coming, y'all. Shanghai Disney's resort has probably one of the coolest attractions. This is better than Flight's a Passage from Pandora. This is possibly one of the most talked about attractions ever. This is Tron. And Tron, look at that, is coming to Walt Disney World. And Bubba, I know you're going to miss out on this because you guys are coming in 2018? To the Walt Disney World Resort at some point, maybe.
We're trying, but I'm definitely pulling for the 50th too. So,
well, there you go. Well, look at this, man. So,
Bub's gonna start a Disney vacation savings account. They can put a little bit of money in it.
We are.
So, just to give you guys an idea, so Tron Light Cycle Power Run is a coaster-style attraction where riders board a train of two-wheeled light cycles for a thrilling adventure. And it's going to be open in time for the 2021 festivities. This is probably one of the coolest looking things I've seen. Now, what else can you tell us about this attraction, Bub? Was there any other mention about this or just the concept art?
It was just the concept art. It's definitely going to be based off Shanghai Disney. I did talk to Steve Saunders about this because he went to Shanghai Disney and he actually rode the light cycles. He said it was, a very short attraction ride. I think it was like a minute 20 or a minute 30, but visually it was stunning. It's the most beautiful thing he said he ever saw. So, it's maybe they might make it a little bit longer, but from what I understand, it's just going to be based right off of Shanghai's.
Yeah. So I'm showing now footage of Shanghai's Tron light cycle attraction. How cool is this? I mean,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Cow. Isn't it just, it's so gorgeous. It's beautiful. It makes me want to cry. It looks so good.
You're in the grid. It's like you're in the grid, which is awesome.
It is awesome. I mean, look at that. Look at those light cycles. How cool is that? I'm just kind of forwarding this along. It's all glowy and blue, and blue means Intel's inside. So there you go. Look at those light cycles. How cool is that? So I am so looking forward to this. Kristen, what are your thoughts on Tron coming? It looks like they're not even going to be bulldozing the speedway in order to make this happen. They might maybe change a track or two, but it looks like it's going to be able to live in an area that's close by without screwing everything up.
And it looks like because there is not anything, major buildings for them to tear down, that should be a quicker attraction for them to put up.
Oh man, please
let
it happen. Looks so good. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Oh my gosh, it's so blue. It's so awesome. So anyway, we're looking forward to that. And I'm sure look at them take off just like banshees. Oh. Look at that. Oh my. Oh my, look at that. How cool. Anyway, they're doing a little corkscrew move right now. Those that are listening to the podcast now are like, hey, what is Aljon talking about? It's so strange. So very strange. But so Tron Light Cycle's coming to the park. That's not the only thing. A couple other things to note that we have a new attraction coming to Magic Kingdom. It's based on the new iconic Willis Theater from the 1920s, Kansas City. And that is going to be a live entertainment venue coming to Main Street, USA. This is strange. So, Bub, what was the reaction to this particular announcement?
Because it's not really an attraction. It's just basically, you're right, a new building that's going to house live entertainment. Somewhere to go in and get away from your Florida humidity, probably, stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be live entertainment throughout the day. Maybe they'll do a couple things, like, I don't know if they have like a time shows like they do at the Golden Horseshoe or stuff like that. But yeah, nothing really like ooh ah. Yeah, nothing like ooh ah. But just they just kind of threw it out there. Oh, by the way, we are doing this.
Yeah, it seems to me like this theater may be a place to showcase marching bands, concert bands, singing groups, dance groups, a multi-purpose venue. They try to do something with Club 626, and they try to bring entertainment and things out there to Tomorrowland. Really didn't take off properly, and this one might be something that they could use in use in different purposes, I should say. So, last but not least, well, maybe second to last, let's talk about this. So, there's going to be a Star Wars resort, folks, and it's probably one of the worst kept secrets of any D23 or anything from the Disney park. People are going to be able to, the moment they check into this, luxury resort, and participate in their own Star Wars adventure, become part of this universe, as it were. When this was announced, I think I heard a gasp in the audience when this happened. Bub, how about yourself?
I definitely gasp, because this is truly a dream come true for any Star Wars fan that wants to live out their fantasy, almost in a way, including myself, by the way. So, because it says from the second you arrive, you become part of the Star Wars story. How is that going to, as soon as like what, somebody's going to, a robot's going to come and grab your bag out of the taxi or whatever. I mean, probably. I wonder how they're going to do this. And, it's going to be amazing to see how this is going to do. And this is going to be a test to see what they can do. And if it is successful, bring it out to California, from what I understand.
So let's take a look at this. So this luxury resort, is going to have costume characters. Droids are going to be wandering around this hotel. You are literally checking into the Star Wars galaxy. There's a little BB-8 style droid. You can see there holograms and lights popping up all over the place, people in their Star Wars costumes, and a little person there with the little Mickey Mouse ears too. Look at that. I told Kristen this, and I said, Kristen, I want to do this so bad that I will not accept Christmas gifts and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts for the next few years. This is how much I want to be that. Look at this room. So the rooms and the cots and the beds are supposed to look like this. You're supposed to have a window that will retract to show the universe, because you're on a starship, right?
A BB-8 themed room. What the heck? Room. That is amazing.
Look at that. Like, okay, so in space, do they not have blankets or comforters?
Even the blankets are
right. Kristen, is this?
Yeah, I wonder how they are going to. I wonder if those are comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know, Kristen. It doesn't look very comfortable.
No, it looks like you put a blanket on a floor. Like, it looks worse than like.
Very strange.
Oh, it makes me kind of think of the uncomfortable beds that they have in Europe.
Oh, maybe
And
it's a sleep number bed.
those pillows don't look comfortable at all. They look very weird if you see them.
No. Yeah, it looks maybe it's a sleep number bed, and then everybody's going to be happy for that. But apparently, it is. They said Bob Chapek says that this Star Wars themed resort will truly bring to life your Star Wars adventure. It's unlike anything that exists today. They're very fond of saying that. From the second you arrive, you'll become part of the Star Wars story, becoming immediately a citizen of the entire galaxy and experience all that entails, including dressing up in the proper attire. Can I keep my outfit? Once you leave Earth, hey, look. Okay, let's play this game right now. Kristen, what outfit are you going to wear?
Slave Leia.
I'm afraid that's not PG anymore.
Like covers everything. Look, wearing Princess Leia's costume there covers more than a bikini does. If you are offended by the people at the pool,
Bubba,
then that's one thing. But if you I mean, seriously.
Bubba, why did you bring that up? You just wanted
I'm sorry.
You said PG, Aljon. I'm telling you.
It is a resort.
Look, I want to look like Lando Calrissian from Return of the Jedi, where he's got the cool military fatigues and the cape. The cape is the pimpin' cape, right?
Yes.
You gotta have the pimp cape. And then Bubba,
it depends on if I'm gonna be like a good guy or a bad guy.
Well, you could, so name a character. What character would you like to dress up as?
I would probably either want to dress up as either Ahsoka or I just forgot her name.
Well, okay, so just so you know, this is the Lando outfit from Return of the Jedi. You see that pimp cape? Look at that. Still looking good.
Ooh, Jyn Erso. I like her outfit.
Oh, you like Jyn Erso? Okay, so that's my costume. I think it's cool. Jyn Erso. So this is a picture of Jyn Erso's costume. So this is Jyn. So Kristen, you're gonna look like Jyn. That's a good costume because I think they sell it there at the Columbia store now for like $700.
Yeah, and I saw a great cosplayer dressed up, and her face looked just like her too.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And Bub, okay, so Bub, what are you going to dress like for this Star Wars resort?
Dress up like a Boss Nass, probably. I think, in my opinion. If you don't know who he is, he's the Gungan boss.
Are you kidding me? Are you want to dress up like Boss Nass?
You know what? Are you kidding me? I was thinking about this over the weekend, like, you know what? I need a cool Star Wars cosplay now. And nobody ever dresses up like him. And I'm like, exactly. Misa Binks. Do all that stuff. And I could nail it perfectly.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great outfit.
Is pretty. There you go. There's Boss Nass. He does look pretty pimp, I have to say. Look at that.
He does. Look at that outfit.
A British website is reporting the cost of this.
Okay, what does a British website say, Kristen? $1,000 per day per person.
It says available for 2-night stays only.
Mm-hmm.
Rooms would reportedly cost $900 to $1,000 per person.
Mm-hmm.
This would include all meals as well as admission to the theme park.
Oh, good. So we can apply that to our.
That's not as bad, but
yeah. So
that's a lot of money. $1,000 a night is then what it breaks down to if you have 2 people. And it says the rooms would accommodate up to 4 people.
That's not bad. I say that, but I've never.
So for all 4 of us, if all 4 of us chip in, we might be able to do this, guys.
There you go. I want to make sure that I have a proper
GoFundMe account started. Like, oh my God. Now for that.
Let's go ahead and start a GoFundMe right now. Let's do it for sure. This is absolutely wild. This is crazy. A couple other things of note that is coming to the Walt Disney World Resort. They're starting these mini Ubers. So your park guests are going to soon be able to take Disney themed transportation, including the Minnie shuttle, the minivan, if you will. So they're going to be shuttled around. We did get confirmation about the Disney Skyliner that's going to be coming.
Oh, yes.
Now, we talked about it on After Dark and speculated that Disney will be putting an air tram system several months ago. And this air tram system will look very similar to some of the more modern sky trams, not the old Skyway that used to be there, but the Skyliner will be able to connect Disney's Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean beach resorts, and more, including the Hollywood Studios and International Gateway at Epcot. So this is a really great way for guests to go around, and I can't wait to ride it myself. It looks super cool, and just so that everyone at home can take a look, this is kind of what it looks like, and it does look like the old Skyway. So that looks cool. So that is going to be coming to the resort. So many changes happening to the resort. We also have a brand new Disney Riviera resort coming to Walt Disney World near Epcot, and will follow the Copper Creek Villas and Cabins at the Wilderness Lodge. So that is coming. We're going to talk about that in future episodes. 2 new Disney Cruise Line boats are going to be coming as well. And it looks like summer of 2018. So this time next year, Toy Story Land will open, and I'm excited about that too, because once again, it's all about new experiences coming to the park. And Kristen, they have set their sights on summer 2018. Kristen, take a look at that Slinky Dog.
Slinky.
That looks cool. That does look cool to me. So at least we have that to look forward to while Star Wars Land is finishing in construction. This is something I wanted to bring up to you, Bub, because Paradise Pier is a very special place. And this is going to affect you because it's no longer going to be called Paradise Pier. It's going to be called what, Bub?
Pixar Pier. Bringing the land up. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, when they announced this, everybody was, some cheers, but a lot of like, what? What? Yeah. So, but they announced a new fireworks show. The Paint the Night Parade will be at Disney California Adventure also. So, what's funny is they're going to have the Pixar Pier here, yet they're moving the Pixar Parade to Disneyland. Why don't you just keep, go?
I don't know. I know it's weird, right? Yeah. It's weird. It's like, why, Paint the Night is coming to the wrong park? I mean, what's going on?
I have no clue.
I think Disney, I don't know. Sometimes I think they're drinking some bad Kool-Aid or something.
So, yeah, I guess it'll take over for the Sensational Parade. I guess, because it's Pixar Parades during the day and Paint the Night will be at night. So, maybe that was their thinking, but why don't you just keep the dang parade in the Pixar Pier since it's called Pixar Parade?
What do you think about the name change?
What do I think about it? I think it's just it is what it is. I can't think of anything better to do with the pier than bring a lot of Pixar people to it. Then we'll see how it goes. I can't judge a book by its cover, but if I did, yeah, I'd be mad.
Kristen, what do you think about it? Because
like the best way to ever phrase that.
What do you think about the change, Kristen? Because Paradise Pier is a really cool place. Where I was not expecting them, even though I'd heard about this rumor and we may have just talked about them actually changing the park to more of a Disney theme. I definitely this announcement kind of took me off guard. How about you, Chris?
I'm not a fan of it. I like it being that old pier, amusement park on the edge of the water, that kind of feel to it that it has.
Looks like it's still going to have that though. It's just going to be
it's
just themed. It's going to get a fresh coat of paint and a brand new name.
I'm not big into that.
When I see the picture of it, I see a giant Pixar ball fountain, Bing Bong's confectionery, a theater. So it looks like they're taking the games out the Midway games that are right there, and they're going to be adding all this to it, which I don't mind. It's Pier games are Pier games. It fits the theme and everything. But like I said, I just gotta wait to see what they do with this.
Yeah, it definitely looks different. The other thing I was going to ask you about, Bubba, is this. So a lot of the Disney fans had speculation going on about the Avengers, and Bob Chapek actually had discussed what this is all about. Bubba?
And I'll tell you what, they still have a lot of stuff under wraps with this. Here's what I was expecting at D23. 2 years ago, they closed the live action with Star Wars. They announced Star Wars Land right after, and then the Parks and panel, they talked about it. This year, I thought they're going to flip the script and do Marvel. Marvel did close live action and then announce a Marvel Land for Disney California, because this hatch has been raising a lot of questions, and even Disney has had you raising questions about it. So they still kept it under wraps. All they announced is that basically Spider-Man and I believe the Avengers and Captain America will have something, an attraction there. We're speculating an Avengers new coaster. I don't know what about Spider-Man, but where's the hatch? I believe it is just to the right of Guardians of the Galaxy. I have not seen it because I've only went on Guardians once. This whole weekend, I didn't even go to Disney California. I just went to Disneyland. But it's to the right of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I always said they're gonna put a Marvel Land behind there. I don't know if they'll touch anything from the Pixar area, which some of it can go, in my opinion. Some stuff could stay, some stuff could go, because it is for kids. There's not really a kid themed area in Disney California. But that's all. They still kept everything hush hush. I was expecting a lot more when it came to this, and that disappointed me.
Yeah, the hatch still remains a mystery. I think that's where all the Disneyland cats live. Honestly. They all come out of that little hatch at night, and they hunt for the vermin.
Yes.
Mickey's put away, and Minnie's put away, and then the cats come out to play from the Avengers hatch. It's just every time I see it, it reminds me of Lost. That's what it doesn't remind me of Avengers. It reminds me of Lost. I think that's the whole point, right? I mean, it's supposed to instill that mystery, and who knows what's going to happen. Hey, there are so many other announcements. We definitely want to get through at least some of them on the surface. But Bubba, your overall thoughts on the Disney Parks panel? What wowed you? What disappointed you?
Everything at Walt Disney World wowed me. You guys are going to get a lot of great stuff. So I know some of you are disappointed about it, but it looks great from what they talked about. Tron Cycles, the Mickey attraction, Ratatouille, the restaurant looks amazing. The hotel, it's going to be amazing over there. I was a bit disappointed on what's going to happen on the West Coast, but it is what it is. We got Star Wars Land coming, and we only have this much space to build on, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to fit what they can in there.
They're going to have that Pixar Pier. They're going to have Star Wars Land, and you guys are going to get Paint the Night back. So and of course, when the time is right, they'll open the hatch, and you guys are going to have Marvel, which is something you won't have. Okay, so you can always keep that under your a little feather in your cap. Kristen, what excites you? What doesn't excite you in terms of the parks?
What am I? The only thing I'm not excited to hear about is the change of the pier.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just don't want everything to be Pixar. That's the one thing I like about California Adventures. It's not overdone with Disney stuff like that,
Yeah.
You walk in and you enter the park, and Buena Vista is just pretty and it's nice, and it's California. And Paradise Pier, to me, I think California, Cars Land, there I am. I'm in the Pixar stuff then, and that's cool. But I don't want the whole park to be changed to be everything
themed like that.
Yeah,
You don't want Disney in your face all the time.
movie-fied, you know.
Especially it's scattered because Monsters Inc. is in Hollywood Land. Cars Land has its own land, and now you're gonna have that right next to Pixar Pier. So it's Disney California Pixar is mine. Change the name of it.
The Pixar Park. Yeah.
The Pixar Park, yeah.
It's gonna be the Pixar Park for sure. Pixar and Marvel, for sure.
At least for the next few months, yeah. But then Marvel's gonna come in, which is
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a land, but it looks like they're making the most of what they have there at Disneyland Resort. I think for me, I'm very excited about the Star Wars Resort. Quite personally, I think it's going to be awesome. Definitely, Star Wars is going to be great. And yes, I'm excited about Tron too. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be excited about it, but I am disappointed there wasn't more about Marvel. And what's going on there.
I think that's coming in 2019.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there's going to be a big Epcot announcement in 2019, and I think there's going to be a big announcement of Hollywood Land going away and it becoming Marvel.
I believe that will probably be the case. And as such, we're going to wrap up this show. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of WDW After Dark. We're going to continue along with the more D23 Expo exclusive thoughts and talking about the live action movie panel and just the next bit. But anyway, Bubba, why don't you tell us where people can find you? And thank you so much for joining us on the program.
No, thank you guys so much. Miss talking to you guys. I'm at big_Bubba_B, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and I am also co-host of the Dining at Disney podcast with the great Kristen Hetzel. Go.
Thanks, Bob. Future Club 33 member, right?
Oh, and do I have a story about that?
Oh boy, I can't wait. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Kristen, go ahead. Where can people find you on there?
As Bubba mentioned, you can find me at diningatdisney.com. You can find us on all kinds of social media. Just type in diningatdisney.com. You can watch the Dining at Disney podcast on YouTube, and you can stream it on Stitcher or listen to Bubba and I on iTunes.
That's right. And you can also check Kristen and I out on WDW Tiki Room, which is a show about all things Disney. We're going to have some panel audio from the D23 Expo over the next few weeks there on Sorcerer Radio at srsounds.com and on demand at wdwtikiroom.com. You can also find my site at jedimusketeer.com. My Instagram is always active, so you can check me out there at Jedi Musketeer. Thank you so much for joining us for another WDW After Dark on behalf of the crew. Don't forget, it's better after dark. So let's punch a Chewie. We'll head into hyperspace, and we'll see you next time.
Don't punch Chewie.